Guys, what's up, guys? This is Mike Lewis, going to be casting another best of two set. This is from Join Dota League Season 3, and on the Radiant we have the Northern Lions. They're going to be going up against the Dire, I think, MiT in Tenebrae, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to be calling them MiT since that's just a lot easier. I honestly don't know too much about these two teams, but regardless, we're going to be watching them, and hopefully it'll be a good game. It's a little bit awkward for Northern Lions, seeing as though they're playing with 3 stand-ins. I think 2 stand-ins is fine. Once you get that third one, then it's like most of the team isn't really your team, and then it's a little strange then. Regardless, Northern Lions going to say no thanks to the Shadow Shaman, no thanks to the Tide Hunter, those big, highly picked heroes, and instead going to opt for an Invoker as well as a Viper. So, a little bit of mind games going to be played in the mid lane, the game of who are we going to send mid. Usually it's Viper, but Viper as a side lane, getting him a little bit farm is always a worthwhile endeavor, especially when you're up against Tide Hunter. As far as side lane heroes go, Viper is very, very capable versus the Tide Hunter. The Kraken Shell always is going to be a little bit annoying, but the odds of a Viper getting hit with an Anchor Smash is very, very low, especially when there's a Skywrath Mage who probably isn't going to be putting much pressure on that Viper, at least early on, so that the Anchor Smash could actually hit. It's not exactly the most reliable of ways to push a Viper back. So, MiT going to open up their draft with a Skywrath Mage as well as a Tide Hunter, getting an offlane, getting a support, and, well, I mean, they know what they're up against as far as cores, Invoker and Viper. Now, the two heroes are a little bit difficult to prepare for. There aren't many aren't many heroes that instantly shut down those two heroes. I mean, MiT for now just going to ban out very, the support-oriented picks that Northern Lions could possibly pick up. And it looks like Northern Lions going to do the exact same thing. So a lot of support hate from the second round of bans, though Shadow Shaman still one of the premier supports still in the pool and still could be picked up by either side. I don't know who would benefit more from it, but both sides would definitely benefit some from it. Actually, I think probably Northern Lions would benefit a lot more from it. Between the, well, now Jakiro pickup and Invoker Forge Spirits, and then when you add the Serpent Wars on top of that, the pushing from Northern Lions is could be really intense if they do decide to take that path. MiT could do kind of a similar thing, like no matter what, whenever you pick up a Shadow Shaman, you're going to be getting a little bit of pushing with those Serpent Wards. But, I mean, Northern Lions, Jakiro is a hero that pushes in a very unique way. I mean, keeping your wave alive from the tower and chipping it down at the same time. Not many heroes have that. Usually just we summon things and then throw those things at the tower. Between Jakiro and Shadow Shaman, they could really, really push hard. And, well, with the cores, it actually works out pretty well for them if they do decide to take that route. And Viper, as far as cores go, usually peaks pretty early. I mean, he's a classic quote-unquote mid-game hero. Late game, he could do a little bit of damage, but usually he's just relegated to spamming Viper Strike, which is painful, but is not really going to be the most fearsome thing in the late game. I really like this pick from MiT. They're going to pick up a Tinker, recognizing the fact that there is a strong possibility that their lanes are going to be pushed hard and going to be pushed very quickly. Tinker, all he needs is 4 points to March of the Machines, then get a couple points of Missile, and okay, Northern Lions. Well, I was saying before, there might be a possibility for Northern Lions to go for a pushing comp, but now I'm pretty sure that's happening. Like, I'm 90% sure that they're just gonna go hard pushing. They might not. They might throw me a curveball, but Leshrac, Jakiro, those two supports just scream out push. Viper and Invoker, earlier game cores, going to add to that push. But still, they're gonna have to get through a Tinker. The roaming from Leshrac to Jakiro is not the strongest. The Ice Path is a little bit difficult to hit, as is the Split Earth, but if they could get some setup on Tinker or something like that, then they will be able to kill him off. If they kill him off enough, then that will be a very, very way for Northern Lions to actually win the game. Shutting down the Tinker, preventing him from getting his Soul Ring, his bottle ideally, but that's probably not going to happen. But Soul Ring, Travels, and then, anything else, and really denying him levels. The longer it takes for Tinker to get to level 4 March of the Machines, the more time Northern Lions has to level up their own heroes. Get that high level of Liquid Fire, get that high level of Edict, and, well, I mean, Invoker always benefits from levels. So getting levels, just trying to delay the counter push from MiT as much as possible is going to be the name of the game, which means probably aggressive roaming, or, hopefully solo kills on Tinker. Cross your fingers for that one, Northern Lions. MiT, they're going to go for a Chaos Knight as their core. I really like this pick as well. As far as carries, it is a hero that both is very, very tanky, so if you're going to be up against this much physical damage, you kind of want to have a tanky hero on the front lines. But also you can put out some really early game hurt. As Northern Lions slam the last pick, it's going to be a Tiny. So Tiny Leshrac Jakiro, and Tiny's another hero that does contribute a good deal to pushes. Avalanche Toss will insta-kill a creep wave, and then later on Aghanim Scepter will kill creep waves really quickly, and Toss also does damage to structures. So Northern Lions going to brace themselves for a they're going to prepare themselves for a very, very aggressive early game start, and MiT, with the Chaos Knight, you would ordinarily say maybe Wisp is the pickup here, but I don't really know if he is. I mean, the CK-Wisp combination is incredibly potent, but Wisp takes a little bit too long to get going. He needs a lot of levels, and even then, being able to bring the Chaos Knight into the fight isn't really much. It doesn't really have that much value when the enemy team is going to be straight pushing your towers. You want your Chaos Knight to be there. You want another support hero to just be there instead of, you know, playing the cute split push, which Northern Lions are probably not going to pay much heed to, since they could just brute force their way into your towers. Regardless, Wisp, the combination in lane is still incredibly potent, especially when you get a silence on the Skywrath Mage. It might be what they want to go for, though I don't really know if it is what they should be going for. They can run a pretty good aggressive lane, though. Tiny Leshrac Jakiro, that's a lot of stuns, and it's just a lot of sustained damage coming out from those three heroes. And hell, Northern Lions even have the flexibility, if they want, to put Tiny in the mid lane and have Viper be in that tri lane. It won't be the best idea, but they do have a lot of flexibility as far as that mid lane is concerned. And Visage, there's a hero that I really like from MiT. You want early game? You want to fight early game? Visage is perfectly okay with fighting early game. The quicker he gets to level 6, the better, obviously. But even with just holding Soul Assumption, there's going to be more than enough damage flying around so that Soul Assumption is going to be hitting very hard, you know, a good portion of the time. CK is also very good, as is Skywrath, at filling up that Soul Assumption meter. So Visage will be able to add a little bit more aggression to the lanes, and now MiT a little bit more slanted to deal with possibly a lane up matchup. Of course, Tidehunter will be struggling versus whoever he's up against, Invoker or Viper, depending on who goes to the lane where Tidehunter is going to go to. But really, there is no way to avoid that. I mean, when you pick a Tidehunter against two ranged cores, things are going to get a little bit messy. But we're in the game, and it looks like no one has a Bastion announcer, so that kind of sucks. But we have on the NLions side, heading up towards the top lane, it's going to be Ingman on the Tiny. Viper is going to be played by CA. Invoker is going to head towards the mid lane as Phantom XP, and the supports John on the Jakiro and Regulus on the Leshrac going to be supporting for the NLions side. On the MiT side, we have the Apathy playing that CK. Heading down to the bottom lane for starters, Pashok is joining him as the Tinker. Amazing with the Visage play, and Keeper is going to be supporting as the Skywrath Mage. Last but not least, we have Shiloh on the Tidehunter, obviously heading up towards the top lane. Tinker most likely going to be sliding up towards that mid lane in a little bit, and right now it looks like NLions are going to be preparing for a tri-lane up top, sending that Tiny up there with the Viper on the solo bottom lane. Viper's not going to have the best of times versus this lane. He will be forced to get lots of corrosive skin, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for the Viper, but still, lots of burst damage going to be going his way, and he's going to be forced to hug the tower. They could put Jakiro and Leshrac there with him, but honestly, I'm not really sure if that's actually going to help. That's just two more viable targets for MiT to go for. I mean, Viper is a viable target, and when you add a very, very squishy 450 HP Leshrac, yeah, I think you would probably want to go for him instead. They do have the advantage of having 3 ranged heroes versus a melee and 2 ranged heroes, but that advantage isn't going to carry them for very far, especially since if they do decide to do that, Tiny is going to be up against a solo Tidehunter, and that is not the kind of lane composition that you want to have. Tiny versus Tidehunter is a one-sided stomp fest. Tidehunter is going to win that lane 99 times out of 100. There's nothing that Tiny could really do about that. Being a melee hero with 0 base armor, heavily reliant on his right clicks to harass, and Well, Tidehunter has a beautiful thing called Anchor Smash, so that lane is not going to go well. So I think Viper, because of that, is going to be forced to solo on the bottom lane. And Lions, what they really want to have happen is to see a Tidehunter down over here so that Viper could have that favorable lane, and then they run Try where it will be a bloodbath for sure, but it will be an interesting bloodbath to say the least. Mid lane, Tinker versus the Invoker is going to be fairly even. Both heroes are capable of killing each other, though honestly, that shouldn't really happen. Basically, they just want to get the levels. Invoker going to get that Sunstrike up so that any time an Ice Path lands or an Avalanche or whatever, he'll be able to follow through with that Sunstrike, adding a little bit more power to the NLions tri-lane. And when you want to kill a Tidehunter, then that little bit of power can and probably will mean the difference between a kill and letting him slip away. But because Invoker isn't exactly the type to dominate his lane, that means that the Tinker, who is most likely going to be going towards that mid lane unless MiT throw a curveball and dual lane Visage CK. It wouldn't be that crazy, but I still think it's just going to be Tinker. Tinker's going to get a lot of free farm and therefore is going to get a very easy time to get levels up. Level 4 March of the Machines means that pushing from NLions is going to be a little bit more difficult, and NLions not really with the best heroes in order to initiate fights. If Invoker goes for Wex, they'll have Tornado, but aside from that, the only way they actually start fights is to catch someone a little bit too close with an Avalanche or something like that. So Tinker will be able to keep his distance, spam out his skills, and then just do Tinker things, prevent pushes. So Pashok should be getting an easy time in this game, assuming he could last hit in a reasonable manner. MiT with a little bit of an invade, but they're not going to find anyone, as CA is playing the lane very, very safely. Looks like MiT not even going to be concerning themselves with blocking just yet. I mean, it looked like they were going to, like they were all chilling in the pole camp, but they are instead going to not decide to do that, and, well, they'll just be laning aggressive tri-lane up against the enemy aggressive tri-lane. So there's going to be 1v3 lanes on either end. Both teams more than capable of killing off this solo hero, and especially if MiT do this. Observer Ward, Ancient Apparition, Observer Ward. Holy crap! This guy has been playing a little bit, guys. But here we go. Viper is now in a little bit of trouble because if he gets hit with anything, there's the CK, gonna bust through the trees for a 1 second stun only. Grave Chill gonna slow him down, and Keeper going to unleash the concussive shot. This is gonna be first blood, and it's gonna be Skywrath Mage to pick it up. No one took any damage from these creeps. I don't know how they took that little damage, but hell, they got CA, and CA did not see that coming. I mean, you can't see that one coming. Who's gonna see that one coming? It's a very, very clean, very, very easy, very, very aggressive first blood for MiT. The lane is going to be a little bit awkward, but they get an entire wave denied. Oh. I hope it's not just me. We are experiencing some technical difficulties, it seems. Are we good? Looks like we're good. Because there's an Invis Rune on the Skywrath Mage, and they see Viper. Viper actually took Nether Toxin at level 1. I'm not too sure how much I like that. The Corrosive Skin probably wouldn't have saved him, though. Definitely would have helped him. Now Keeper is going to be spotting out for this Viper. Getting a kill on the Viper with only 2 heroes is going to definitely be a lot more difficult since Visage is now going to reveal himself, so the jig is up. You just gave away the positioning. No, now NLions is going to book it, which is completely okay with MiT. I mean, their CK is already level 3, and can their 2 supports? Well, they force out a TP. Wow, big plays from these MiT supports on the bottom lane. The CK is getting a completely free lane. He's playing 1v0. In the meantime, the 2 supports are eating out the Viper's gold pool, just 135 gold at a time. Just taking huge chomps out of that, and he's going to buy another TP scroll. This Viper is not going to get anything. Oh, Viper, it sucks to be you. And then MiT on the top lane, Tidehunter, not having the best time. He's getting forced back quite a bit by Regulus's Leshrac, but you know what? He's fine with that. He's just needs his level 6, then he's in business. Unfortunately, up against 3 ranged heroes means that Anchor Smash not really going to be providing the most value, i.e. it won't be reducing anyone's damage anytime soon. But the bottom lane for MiT is going absolutely perfectly. The mid lane is going pretty well. On top of that, 11 for 5 versus the 9 for 6 on the Invoker. So Tinker having a slight edge in that regard. And then the fact that NLions have a very aggressive an early lane. Okay, let's just stop and speak English now. They have a very aggressive early game slanted team comp. So all in all, MiT, they have this one, and they are probably not going to let go. And Jakiro is going to be picking up his Liquid Fire. Leshrac is going to go for an Edict build, and already on the top lane, the push is going to start to happen. Shiloh can't really do much about that, being a Tide Hunter, so he's going to, forced to have the pull and just get experience other ways. He's going to be getting a lot of experience from this pushing, but again, he's got to be a little bit careful. Jakiro doesn't have an Ice Path just yet. Regulus has a level 1 Split Earth, which is really, really hard to land. Off of an Avalanche is going to be the most viable way of landing that, but still probably won't be doing too much. I don't know how Gene got hit by that. Anchor Smash, that was a very long-range smash. Regardless, Tide Hunter is going to eventually lose that top lane. Not really much he could do, but that's okay because CA is getting absolutely nothing. Rock getting dropped on the Pashok. That's a very, very early Meteor, and will it be enough to actually get this kill? Laser to turn around, and Pashok wants to fight this one. He has a point in missiles. Deafening Blast, not going to do too much damage. And Pashok going to throw the missiles, but he will die first, and it will be a trade. Tanker with the creeps is going to kill the Invoker, but Invoker gets the benefit from that one. He gets the experience. He gets to cash in first, and Tanker, he gets something. Definitely not enough to make that worth it. Invoker going for a very, very curious build. The Tinker caught by surprise, almost definitely. Now Shiloh in a little bit of trouble. Avalanche toss. No, just toss. Avalanche still available to set up for the Split Earth. Edict is available. Sunstrike onto Shiloh will kill him off. Beautifully done from the NLions side, but Regulus is going to be the trade. The Birds going to catch up to Leshrac and kill him off. Shkeeper getting himself the second kill of his game. Level 3 on that Skywrath Invoker. Really helping out with his team, as I mentioned before, but the problem is that their Viper is getting absolutely shut down, getting literally nothing in his lane. He's not even in the lane. And while Invoker going for a Wex build, as I was saying before, it's not something that people do. Like, there are... Whoa. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to make sure I still have, like, internet connection. My browser's working fine. I didn't press anything, I swear, guys. But yeah, no Invokers really go for a Wex point early. It's usually rush for Exhort, rush for Quas, unless you're going full-on Wex, in which case you usually don't get that much Exhort at all. What is going on? This is taking a lot longer to get into the game than it usually does. And you guys could admire my Drow background, loading screen, whatever. Yep, there we go. Oh, looks like it wasn't just me. That's good. That's good. I don't think I missed any kills. Invoker didn't get a kill. Regulus on top side, though. That might be a kill. He has the Edict on. It's doing a little bit of damage to Shkeeper, but he's taking way more damage than he's dealing. That's going to be a kill. And also, Ingman, is there any more disable? No Grave Chill, no nothing. No more mana on either of the supports. No Gush on the Tide Hunter. So we reconnect just in time to see a kill. That was definitely all planned and not accidental whatsoever. So MiT take an early 4-2 lead. They're keeping their towers alive for now. Edict is level 2. It should be level 2. Yes, it is. And Liquid Fire also level 2. NLions going to struggle to actually make something happen as the mid lane Invoker be forced into the Ghost Wall very, very early on. Not how you want to be playing that Invoker. But also at the same time, bottom lane, I guess when we were disconnected or something, was brought down by the CK, who is going to go for a very, very early game intensive build, going for a Bracer Drum with the Power Treads. He's looking to fight early. He's looking to fight often. He knows that probably late game with the Tinker and CK, they're going to be able to handle this late game, especially since Tiny, well, he's not having the best game, but he's having some pretty decent farm. He is a hero that needs a lot more, though. I mean, he could go for a very budget-heavy build, but when he's the only one on his team who's having a good time, it's not going to be that much fun for the entire team as a whole. Pashok is holding on to that Soul Ring, got that instead of rushing up the Boots Travel straight away, and he's level 6, level 4 in March, and the machine's going to be coming very, very soon. So Pashok is going to have a very tinkery game where he's going to be having almost free reign over the map, and NLions, I don't think they're going to be getting a Blink Dagger on the Tiny. With his Power Treads, I'm inclined to think it is going to be a Aghanim Scepter build, going for a very core farm heavy Tiny. So really, they don't have any answers, NLions, to this Tinker aside from very, very smart play, baiting, all that good stuff. Top lane, Edict is going to force this tower into fortification. And they will be able to bring this down. Shiloh is not level 6 just yet. Anchor Smash, the Creep Wave, dual breath, and 2 TPs in. The tower will go down, but a 4-second stun onto Regulus. The Apathy is just going to go to town on this Leshrac. He will bring him down before the Split Earth lands. No, the Split Earth did get out. Now the Apathy dropping very low. On top of that, but a Ravage as Shiloh off that kill. Pops level 6. Missile's going to come in. Ingman will get the toss, but will miss on Apathy. That's 3 kills in exchange for none. Wow, MiT. CK getting out of there just barely. And Ravage getting picked up just at the nick of time. That first kill on that Leshrac going to be the tipping point where Ravage is going to be picked up as Shiloh hits the level 6 mark. Can't really ask for a better team fight for that if you are MiT. NLions, they take the tower, but that is a hollow victory indeed. Phantom not even a part of that fight, and I think with 4 points at Extort and Meteor available, it would have definitely helped, but in the meantime, he's picked up a hand of Midas. The tower gold helping out a little bit, but if NLions keep taking trades like that, it certainly won't help them to win this game. MiT, I don't think, are going to be looking for stream lag, Steam. Yeah, you guys are going to have to... My stream is fine. Steam is offline. Yes. No? My Steam is fine. My Steam and stream seems to be fine. But, you know, there's definitely been some issues in this game. Randomly exiting, not exactly helping. I'm guessing there's just random lag. Random lag seems like something that would be happening right now. Or they could give no excuse. You gotta have some excuse, guys. Come on. Alright, we're back in. MiT currently holding a 7-2 lead. There's Skywrath dangerously close to his level 6 mark. Not as devastating as a Ravage, for sure. But, you know, land that on a Leshrac or a Jakiro. Or even a Tiny at this point. I mean, he has a good amount of HP. Tiny has rather high strength growth at 3.0. But you could grind someone up real quickly if you do manage to land that topside. Avalanche toss, Sunstrike onto Shiloh. Will bring him down pretty low. Anchor Smash, though, giving him a lot of effective HP. But you know what? Doesn't care about Anchor Smash. Level 2 Edict. Shadow's going to die on the top lane. A much-needed kill for the NLions. But it took literally every single spell they had in order to get that kill. Tidehunter, very much so worth it. And, of course, we're going to have more pauses. Yeah, sorry about the net worth, guys. The thing automatically closed when I disconnected. Sorry about that. But another pause, as there are some serious lag issues going on here. Looking back at CA, I think he's been jungling / trying to eke out what he can on the bottom lane for the past 9 minutes. He is up to 21 CS, but he's like on the bottom end of the net worth chart, not really where you want to be as a Viper. I mean, usually a Viper categorized by the fact that he is going to dominate whatever lane he is in. He's going to win. He's going to get a lot of farm. Well, this time he didn't get anything. And a Viper who's probably going to go for a recovery Midas means that he's most likely just going to follow that up with power treads into Aghanims. There's no way that this Viper, this poor, is going to be able to achieve a mech or something like that. At least, I mean, he will eventually be able to, but in a timely manner where it's actually a relevant item, probably won't be the smartest thing for CA to go for. So it's going to be recovery Midas almost for sure. I mean, if you're holding on to 1,000 gold and you are going for power treads, then, well, you're kind of doing it wrong. But aside from that, taking a quick look at the Tinker, who's been stacking up triple camp and, well, just one Centaur. Probably got the weaker camps killed over there. Double camp over here, though the units are very hard to see. The Tinker has a couple of stacks that he's going to be clearing out. Taking a look at his Ancients, no stacks there. Tinker's not going to get the fastest boots of travels in the world, but still, it's decent enough. I mean, he's not really on a huge clock. Obviously, the faster he gets the boots of travels, the better. But between clearing all these camps, which is actually a quad stack, did I say 3? It's definitely 4. He's going to get himself his boots of travels at a reasonable time, and it's not the fastest, obviously, but hell, when you're sitting at a 4-kill lead, 9 minutes into the game, and your side is going to be the side that's going to be pushed, you're not really under too much pressure to get that item up. Top lane looks like it is going to be pushed just a little bit. Ingman Not really with too much mana though, as he has gone for Power Treads instead of Arcane Boots, which is usually what you do if you're going to be going for a core tiny build. Leshrac and Jakiro both a little bit too poor to get that Arcane Boots up. But they could push up that top lane if they really do want to. Unfortunately, Apathy down the bottom lane is going to be doing some pushing on his own. I mean, CK is not exactly the fastest pusher in the world, but still, if you leave him down there for too long, his drums will eventually come up. He's very, very close to that item. And he's probably going to go for Armlet after that. I mean, there's no reason not to. Armlet is one of the most cost-efficient items that you could possibly get on any strength hero, let alone a CK. Once you get that Phantasm. But Smoke now has 3 heroes going to head towards the mid lane, where Visage is going to be none the wiser. 1 point in Gravekeeper's Cloak probably isn't going to help you that much. However, again, the NLions side are lacking ways of initiation. So the best thing that they could hope for is an Avalanche toss. There you go. Avalanche into Split Earth, into Sunstrike. Amazing. Is so dead. Sunstrike going to zap the last of his health pool away. And Apathy teleporting in along with the Tinker. He wants in on this one. Reality Rift onto John. And then a 3-second stun. The beatdown will kill off this Jakiro almost for sure. Yes, for sure. Jakiro's going to go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Supports for supports. And NLions, they lose a little bit more than they really expected. This CK with a high amount of HP. Of movement speed with the power treads, and of course with CK's broken movement speed, base movement speed, catching up to the very, very slow Jakiro, who only has brown boots for now. Apathy, though taking a lot of damage, is going to push the rest of this tower's HP down. Will be destroyed by the Dire as drums are picked up for the CK, and instantly a smoke. They want to continue letting this aggression onto the NLions side, and with the Mystic Flare on Skyrat, they could definitely do it. Apathy is not very healthy, so doing this is a little bit risky. But they're going to run into 4 heroes. CA does have a Viper Strike, really that's all he needs right now, and they're going to run to Enigman first. That's not what you want to have happen. They need to silence this hero if they're going to kill him off, but I think with Apathy at less than 300 HP, Regulus going to get tossed forward. Amazing going to get the Grave Chill and just book it on out of there. Sunstrike will miss onto Apathy. That would have killed him. Would have killed him? Yes, would have killed him. It was very close, but it would have killed him. Everyone gets to get away. MiT a little bit aggressive with that one. I mean, ganking with a CK is fine. I mean, CK, Stun, Reality Rift, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, but not when you have 300 HP. It gets a little bit worse. Pashok has picked up his Boots of Travels 11 minutes in, or 12 minutes in. Now he's going to start doing Tinker things. Level 3 missiles, 1 point laser just for the miss value. The top lane going to be pushed. All lanes really going to be pushed. And all of a sudden, NLions, whereas before they had a very, very good push comp, they still have that same push comp, but now they're going to be going up against a brick wall. I mean, that's a tall order to push against a Tinker. Not only is the March of the Machines going to shred the creep wave, but also the missiles will constantly chip you down. And since the Viper is very, very far away from, well, actually he is going to go for a mech, so he's very, very far away from that mech, but he's going to go for it. There's no way to sustain the heroes with that missile spam. So, NLions, they have really no sustain. They have a lot of chip damage. I mean, if Leshrac could sit there for a little bit, get a couple of seconds of Edict off on the tower, that'll be okay. But against Martial Machines and missiles, which is going to be maxed out very, very shortly, NLions, their push comp is going to slowly start to dissolve. Fortunately for them, they have a Tiny and an Invoker, and Invoker does have a Hand of Midas, as does the Viper. So if they do decide to take this in the late game, Leshrac's going to fall off slightly, the Jakiro's going to fall off slightly as well. At least in comparison to what they actually wanted to do with those heroes. But they will be able to take it if they just, turtle up and make sure that they don't lose any more fights in a hugely crushing manner. Interesting choice for Shiloh. Whoa, bottom lane, no aggression there. Interesting choice for Shiloh. He's 44 CS, solo lane Tidehunter. Of course, he didn't have the best lane in the world, but going for a Force Staff instead of a Blink Dagger. I mean, Blink Dagger is by far the standard build, and Force Staff, although it does have its advantages in being able to save allies from ice paths and sunstrikes and stuff like that, I think just the power of Blink Dagger is just so much better than the Force Staff. Like, almost objectively, it's better on Tidehunters, being able to position yourself from a long distance. He could be going for both. I mean, it is a build for Tidehunter. It's the build for Tidehunter, in fact, to be going for multiple mobility items. But, Force Staff is just a little bit longer that he's going to have not with a Blink Dagger, as I think he just missed the smoke train. Poor guy. He has a Force Staff, but everything should have been spotted out by this Radiant Observer Ward. So no surprises here as NLions. They might have to fight under their tier 2 tower. No, Teal thinks that MiT should go top lane. Go top. Go top, says Teal. He doesn't want to fight this. Teal does not want to fight for another 5, 10, 15 minutes. This Viper just wants to chill with his hand of Midas for as long as freaking possible. And MiT, they're going to give it to him for just a little while longer. And Shadow's going to clear off this top wave, but the two supports on mid not really doing too much. Visage not yet level 6, but the aggression going to go the other way. There's an Ice Path. Apathy will dodge that one. But at the same time, we have Ingman on the side with a double damage rune. If they take this fight, NLions, I think they should be able to win it. They will lose a couple heroes. There's no way for them to get out completely scot-free, but they should be able to take that one. And Phantom is still, well, he's got a lot of points in the... Well, there's the Sunstrike combination. Shadow going to get absolutely demolished. His 4 staffs right into the Meteor. Phantom will not try to TP out, but the Mystic Flare and the missiles from the Tinker, making it a 1-for-1 trade. Invoker a little bit bold, going for that kill on the Tidehunter under the tower, and now a 2-second stun onto Regulus as the initiation starts. But the Ice Path going to cancel that for just a little while longer. Regulus can do a little bit of damage to everyone, but the concussive shot will kill him off. CA going to get pulled back in as well. This is a double kill for Pashok. 1 kill on top lane, 1 kill on mid. Why not? Reality Rift now onto John. 3-second stun onto him, and Apathy is going to find that kill. He's low on HP, low on mana, but does he really care? He's got a lot of supports behind him, and now Familiars are up on the Visage. MiT, I think they're just going to pull back and be okay with the fact that they got 4 kills and only lost 1 on top lane. Tidehunter was the only one to go down, and well, he got solo killed, which isn't exactly ideal. But hey, 4-for-1, I'll take that. I will definitely take that if I was MiT. 16 minutes in, they have a 5-for-12. Whoa, okay, Visage. Where are you at? Observer Ward value. My bad, guys. Sunstrikes are pretty strong. I actually didn't even hear that one. Maybe if I was quiet, then I could have heard it. But that's not what I'm in the business of, being quiet. That's not what I do. So Visage, getting a little bit of a date with the sun, is going to return to the mid lane shortly because there's a little bit of push going on. Level 3 Edict, not the strongest, obviously, but CK coming in. Yeah, you're not going to get out of this one. I don't think you are, Regulus. Drum Charge will try to help him, but Apathy has a Drum Charge of his own. Ingman is going to get ravaged as Shiloh does jump in. The stun onto Ingman, 2 seconds, will kill him off with the Anchor Smash, and Apathy still chasing now after Regulus. 1 hit, 2 hit. That's going to be 2 more kills for the MiT side. Ravage used for 2 kills, perfectly worth it if you are MiT, especially since you can now take a tower on the bottom lane. The Tinker going to be pushing that one out just slightly with the March of the Machines. Double Familiar is going to get in there with a stun. In the meantime, Shkeeper going to try to get a solo kill onto John, but he will not get it. 30 HP, the Jakiro survives, and wow, Skywrath gets obliterated by the Eul Scepter combination of Invoker. That's a maxed out Wex. 4 Quas was delayed on the Invoker. He's going to go for as much burst as he could possibly want. And, well, it's slowly starting to get value, but going to need a little bit more than solo pickoffs if the NLions team really wants to make this happen. Ingman going to get smoked up and just going to lead the charge. No, it's actually going to be Phantom leading the charge with the Euls, but he doesn't have his combination up. Missiles is going to fly. Apathy going to get stunned and slowed down by the Viper Strike. He's going to pop the Phantasm and try to go to town on anyone he could get his hands on. Leshrac is going to go down. CA is going to go down shortly after. Here comes a Tidehunter. If he had a Blink Dagger, he could get in there for their Gush, but unfortunately, Force Staff does not give you that mobility. Tinker going to jump in onto one of the Visage Familiars. No, he's not. Apathy's going to escape. Sunstrike trying to pick off that CK will whiff. 7-16 and MiT. Their CK once again gets to hobble home at very, very low amounts of HP, but they take a tower, and really, they have only lost the top lane tower thus far. Just one tier 1 against a Jakiro, against a Leshrac, against a Tiny. So MiT, they have this game almost completely on lockdown. And they have a crushing gold advantage. They have a very large experience advantage to boot. And they have a CK who is packing in armlets, so he's going to be very, very difficult to kill, and he hasn't died yet. 604 isn't too terrible. Their Tinker is slowly going to start to get out of control as well. Being able to teleport to these Familiars is absolutely huge, and do stuff like that. Blink forward, Dagon laser missiles. Leshrac is dead with 1 right click afterwards. Pashok's going to be able to do that pretty much non-stop. The Leshrac and Jakiro. I mean, Jakiro's a tanky hero as far as supports go, but I don't think he's tanky enough to withstand a level 13 Tinker combination. I don't even think Ingman is completely safe. Pashok's going to go for this one. Dagon going to bring him down low. Avalanche toss on the Pashok, dropping him very low. He's going to try to TP out of his Force Staff up to the high ground from the friendly Tidehunter. Ingman going to get Silence Mystic Flare. Will hit a little bit onto the Tiny. Not enough to get a kill. The Force Staff value, that's the value you get from picking up a Force Staff. over a Blink Dagger, I suppose, saving his Tinker from sure death. We'll get him back to the base safely, fill up the bottle, and then continue doing Tinker things, while NLions are going to be continuing to try to search out for an opportunity anywhere. But again, their Viper is only level 9 as far as levels go. He's 2 levels above the support, only 1 level above the enemy supports. There's a level 14 Tinker on the other end, and Corrosive Skin will help him survive that, as will the mech. But then Viper at that point is just completely ignorable. There's no reason to look at that Viper if you're MiT right now. Invoker is definitely the highest threat, secondary to Ingman. But top lane is going to be a 2v3. Amazing gets caught out. Avalanche Toss will kill off this Visage almost instantly. 4-second stun now onto Ingman. He will get thrown up into the air. The CK Sunstrike not available, but the Meteor Blast combo will do some pretty heavy damage to Apathy. He's going to Reality Rift himself forward. Has another stun, and the Tinker going to come in for good measure. Tiny's going to drop, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. You don't want to be trading your Tiny for Visage ever, especially when it probably means your tower is going to drop as well. Ravage is up on Tidehunters, another 4 staff in 5 seconds. This will be a fight they want to use Ravage for. Shiloh can look for the Gush. Blink away, though, from the Invoker. It's going to be completely okay with MiT that happened, because that means the tower is going to be that much easier to take down. Split Earth will miss. Regulus got to watch out for this drum charge. Apathy wants in. Meantime, Tinker picking off the Jakiro solo. I guess Tinker just zapping dragons, because that's what he does. But the top lane tower will continuously be pressured. Regulus really pushing his luck right now. He doesn't have Ghost Walk, Blink Dagger. He doesn't have all these tools to actually help him escape. But a Blink forward from Shiloh. Ravage thinking about it. There's the Ravage onto 2 with the Mystic Flare. Phantom's going to drop in like a rock. Regulus going to try to fight this one out, but I don't think that's going to work. It will bring him down in the end. Shiloh will get tossed. 80 HP, 60 HP, he'll get drum charged up, and here comes the Tinker off the Familiars. Ingman going to take a huge amount of burst. Laser not going to be casted, a little bit too far away. Pashok will not be able to secure that kill, but regardless, it's another tower, it's another 2 kills for MiT. And this top lane tower now going to get pressured just a little bit. Apathy back towards the mid lane, still has yet to die as the CK now holding on to almost Hyperstone Gold, which at this point, if you just go for an Assault Cuirass, they can't kill you. I don't think they can, or go for a BKB. That would also be good because he already has an Ogre Club, but BKB is boring. That's what it stands for, Boring King Bar. Gotta go for that Assault Cuirass. They have their eyes set on CA, and CA, you gotta teleport in like the next 5 seconds, or else you're just going to die. Oh, he's not quite revealed. Tinker gonna teleport in, and now CA is revealed. Uh-oh, CA. Better TP. Let's see if they get vision. Reality Rifts. Nope, stun. That'll do it. Laser, Dagon, pain for days. Oh man, I love Viper as a hero, guys. Like, I really, really like Viper. He just does it all. He dominates lanes. He has a lot of damage. He's tanky. But when he's 0-4-0, you just gotta feel for him. Because Viper, this is not the way Viper is usually played. This is like the Viper's lowest point. Dagger is up on CK. I can't say I've ever seen that before. Blink Dagger on CK. Because usually Reality Rift with this much range is enough to get yourself into a fight. But, hey, if the Tidehunter isn't going for a Blink Dagger, then someone has to, right? You gotta get a Blink Dagger on the Tidehunter team. It only makes sense. Medallion now going to help take down this Roshan and NLions. Well, they could actually fight this on paper. I mean, their Invoker is level 15. He's absolutely dishing. And a Roshan fight with Invoker on your side with Jakiro and Leshrac, that's as much of an ideal fight as NLions are going to get, but unfortunately they are a little bit too far away. They will be fighting, of course, into Ravage, into Tinker, so I mean, where it's the best for NLions, it's also probably pretty damn good for MiT as well. Dyer picking off the Roshan. Tinker with the Aegis. He's only died once, and I don't think that'll happen again for quite a long time. The Blink Dagger up, Ghost Scepter. No physical damage will be able to burst him down, but really it's the magical he has to worry about. Aegis will protect him from that one. And now MiT with that Aegis on Tinker, he's going to be in charge of pushing down the bot lane, down the top lane, and they're just going to look for an opportunity. Apathy with that Blink Dagger, I think, is still a surprise to the NLions side, though it shouldn't be now if they're checking their items correctly. It's hard to play around a Blink Dagger CK, though. It is very, very hard. He's going to be the one to jump in first, draw the aggro. Shiloh will be slowly following up with that 4-staff Ravage. The tower is going to be a free one. Double March the Machines. Good luck pushing, counter-pushing into that one. Now are they going to go for it? Phantasm was already used, and he looks like he got the lucky roll, so he's going to get a couple extra illusions. Blink forward for the Jakiro. There's a 4-second stun. Crits for days. Apathy gets that kill. Meteor on Shiloh, but he does get the Ravage off and the extra smash onto 2. Going to try to kill off Phantom. Pashok going to jump right in for that Dagon Blast. Doesn't have any mana left. Shiloh tanking tier 4 towers. Not really where you want to be as a Tide Hunter, as anyone, really. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade thus far. Apathy, not with much mana. There are Arcane Boots on the Skywrath. Visage does not have Arcane Boots of his own. So Apathy's going to have to wait a little bit longer. But they bring the tower down to half HP. They take down 2 kills. They secure an Ethereal Blade for this tanker. They lose a familiar or 2, but small price to pay for a big lead in this game. 12k plus, 10k plus. Things are looking very, very grim for the NLions side. Their Invoker, if he wasn't dying in all these fights, I would say that they have a slightly better position in this game. But every single time Invoker is getting kills, every single time he uses his Eul Scepter, Sunstrike, Blast, Meteor combo, it's been getting kills, but it's also been getting him killed. And that's just slowing him down so much. He's level 15 with Hand of Midas, which it's pretty good. I believe it might be the highest in the game. No, level 16 on the Tinker, as Regulus is going to experience the wrath of that level 16 Tinker. Bink! There goes the missile kill. Pashok going to get yet another kill for himself, as he's now on top of the game for sure. If Invoker was actually living through all those engagements, NLions would stand a chance, because it's very hard to push into an Invoker. But no, actually, I'm gonna change my mind. No, even if Invoker had a lot more, CK with the Blink Dagger kind of shuts down Invoker. Like, it's not really the most intuitive combinations. And now Ethereal Blade dagging onto Ingman. He's gonna get stunned as he tries to TP away. Big crit, 592. That'll do it. 5 base armor on Tiny? Yeah, he needs more levels of Craggy Exterior, I think. Just maybe. Because that was like half of his HP right there with 1 hit. That lucky roll, that 10% crit chance, it's okay. It's okay. The amount of damage is moderate. Moderate high. Keeper gonna run into Regulus. He get a soul kill right here if he lands Mystic Flare. Mystic Flare will land as Regulus tries to run away, ends up running back into it, and now Phantom also gonna get caught off with the Tinker combination. CA, he's going to be thanking his lucky stars that that wasn't him, and a GG has been called, guys. 9-28, 26 minutes in. MiT run an absolute clinic all over NLions. They're going to take this game number 1. This is a best of 2 series, so there's going to be one more game played off of these 2 teams. We'll be covering that one as soon as the lobby goes up. But until that happens, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys stick around for game number 2.
GG!